and much more lighter, a more fun question. So the question basically is the wearing of weave a sign of insecurity? So this basically comes down to the whole natural hair versus wearing of weave, the wanting to have straight hair, trying to live to the white model of what is beautiful. Um, so it's this basically comes to the question: wearing weave. Why do women wear weave? I mean, is it because they don't like their hair, or is it because
For me, I have done nearly everything to my hair simply because I get bored. So I've had purple weave, green weave, braids, twists, cut it, shaved it, straightened it, have it curly. Mainly because I get very bored with my hair and the easiest thing to do is change it. So for me, hair, weave, everything is not an insecurity. In the area, I'm not my hair. But for a lot of people who cannot be seen without no more than 1 month old lace front, it is a big insecurity because they feel like they don't look good enough without it. But that's sometimes it's their own fault, sometimes it's others' fault, sometimes it's their own fault because they've chosen to live a certain lifestyle where your hair is the most important thing to you, which is very stupid and very shallow. And then other times it's because others have said that their natural hair or whatever is not good enough. So it then becomes a problem for them. Like, I know certain people, like I know in school, people who pretended that their weave was their hair just because I lived in Hymes Park, which is like borderline Essex in London. So there was like 10 black people per year. One girl in like the years below me she had like the same wig the entire time I've known her. And she used to pretend, she said she was coolie and that it was her hair. But it's not her hair. Like,
but then on that same point, is that because she's insecure about
but that's
her own hair?
because she was adopted by a white family and she's grown up around white people and all she knows is like straight hair. So like, it depends on the person basically.
Not all white people have straight hair. Before I locked my hair, literally, I'd wake up every day and there'd be a different pattern of these ridiculous curls that did not match each other in any way. Like, one's big out here, 5 here. So no, we do not have perfect hair, trust me.
Yeah, this is a sticky topic, but as you can see, this is not my real hair, but I'm not ashamed of my real hair. If a few of you know me, that I hardly ever have weave in. I'm so proud of my afro hair, my kinks and my coils, because I was born that way, and it does. Other people's opinions does affect you, and you'll grow up with people telling you straight hair looks better, and it's constantly in the media. Celebrities wear weave. It's on your television. It's on social media. You've got these new people with virgin hair from Cambodia and Brazilian weave and stuff like that. They're promoting to cut. Well, let's not go into that topic where they like torture young girls and cut their hair off and stuff like that. But that's the reason why I don't support virgin hair anyway. But it's actually culture now. If you're not wearing virgin hair, you're not cool. Virgin weave hair.
I agree with what Jade was saying. It's because I get bored as well. I love a weave. I've had blue weave. I've even had fake dreadlocks. It's because if I did anything like that to my own hair, I'd have to cut it off. I bleached my hair before and it fell out. So it's just so I can have a bit of variety. I don't think it's anything to do with insecurity. What I don't like is when mostly guys, they think that if you wear a weave, it's because your hair can't grow. But a lot of people, they use a weave to grow their hair because you get a little break from it, from straightening it and whatnot every day.
The thing is as well, it's now become fashionable to have natural hair, and this whole weave thing is disappearing more. So like in the past year or so, everyone's doing this whole natural journey thing and it's become fashionable to have kinky weave if you can't have your own hair, and everyone's doing big chopping off their hair, and it's now become a thing where not having weave is more cool. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if, yeah. But a lot of people are doing this whole natural hair thing, so it is, the whole wearing weave being an insecurity thing, it can be, in terms of you're too scared to jump on this bandwagon. But I think for a lot of people, I don't know if you saw it, but on Twitter, they said, oh, date a girl with curly hair because it's like having two girls where she has curly hair and straight hair. And then there was another one that says, date a girl with weave. It's like having 6 different girls whenever she changes her weave. But it's true, for a lot of people, it's just the boredom. But if you can't go without it, that's when it becomes a whole you're insecure thing. It's if you cannot go more than like your half day when you're taking out and reinstalling weave without weave, then it's a problem, then it's an insecurity. And the fact that you do get people on Twitter like, oh, especially nowadays, guys is just like, oh, I want girls with big curly hair, and that's all they want. So you get a weave that is big and curly, because now you can get like afro curly hair, and like it is said on Twitter and whatnot anyway, you can get afro weave and whatnot. So people get that just because it's what people say they should have. But yeah.
Yeah, like obviously I've never had a weave, but like I can completely understand like the bored point, because like me and my sister used to often like dye our hair, or like, and that's kind of similar. Like we just, oh, I'm bored, I want to like change something. What should I do? I don't know, dye my hair. And I've always been like so jealous that you guys can change your hair so much. I think it's so cool. Like people in my uni would like comment in like in the ACS. I would hardly recognize them for like 5 seconds because she had like these giant braids when yesterday her hair was like here and she looked so different. And then sometimes it was so cool. Like it must be so much fun. Like
I mean, for us guys, I think that's a female thing. I mean, I change my hairstyle every month, but it's still my hair. I mean, I've never had to put any extension. I mean, if a guy had, or if I had extensions or a weave or whatever, I think I look stupid. But it's never been a male thing to have extension. I mean, there are some guys out there who have done it, and I think it's really weird. But I don't know. But the whole changing your hairstyle every month, I mean, I can do it. Every month I change the hair, I have different patterns, different styles. I can straighten my hair, I can do whatever to hair, but at the end of the day, it's all my hair. So when the whole thing of it, the whole insecurity thing, I mean, yeah, I agree with Jade. With some women, it may be that they're insecure about wearing their own natural hair. Maybe their hair is a bit, well, not as nice as they want it to be. But could that be because the pressure of society putting on them of what is nice hair and what isn't nice hair?
Some people just don't know how to look after their hair. So because they've been mistreating their hair might not seem nice. But if they actually took time out to look after their hair and not put in weaves so much and not put in straighteners and such, they would actually find that there is loads and loads and loads and loads of blogs, YouTube. You can YouTube how to look after your natural hair. You can go into their hair shop now. Like I remember, like about 3 years ago, there was hardly anything in Afro-Caribbean hair shops for natural hair. But now you go in there, there's a whole section of it. So maybe because there wasn't readily available sources for people to look after their hair, but now it is. So I don't think there's an excuse now to not look after your own hair.
I think it could be like compared to like about makeup, because it's sort of similar. Like, because if you're scared to look how you look naturally, I mean, it's the same thing. So you could ask the question like, if you can't, in my opinion, if you could never leave the house without makeup, that's kind of a problem. Like, I think that you have an insecurity. So then in that case, I would agree with Jade, because she said, if you could never leave the house without your weave, it's a problem. You have insecurity. So I guess
you can branch it into makeup. I mean, it's just an example of a certain type of cosmetic product which people use. But yeah, you can branch it into makeup, and you see women on the tube and on the train, and they're fixing their face on the train and doing their eyelashes. And I secretly hope the train or the bus jerks and they poke themselves in the eye, because, well, I mean, I think it's a bit silly. I mean, you're on a packed train and you've got your big makeup bag and you're rummaging around and you're putting on, I don't know what, like foundation stuff and eyeliner and lipstick. I mean, you go onto the train looking like something out of the Witches, and you come off the train looking like a top class model. I mean, it does get a bit much.
I think that if people started realising how many white girls, mixed race girls and celebrities wear weave, they wouldn't feel no type of way. I know this is going to sound really bad. I don't mean to. Do you know how many white girls' tracks I've been seeing recently? It is really annoying me. And because it sounds rude, but like a lot of the time, especially the girls who are more insecure, they want their hair more like the mixed race girls or white girls or whatever, because you can get so many different types of weave now. There's a girl at my uni. I don't particularly like her. This is not why I picked this out. But she's been on these Instagram and Twitter pages with like beautiful girls and whatnot. But half her hair ain't hers. But everyone thinks that it is, and then everyone wants to then copy her hair. If you realise that you can see this girl's tracks and clippings, you probably won't feel the need to copy her hair and wear the weave as much. This girl, she's mixed race. She has long hair, but she wears extra. That's her own business. That's her problem. But you don't have to copy it, because you're trying to copy what you think is real with fake when really it's fake. Yeah. So, like, that is what's bringing around these insecurities. You think these people are better than you naturally, but they're not. They've just got the same fake character you do, but they've just obviously got a better version.
Oh yeah. Yeah, just to like sort of agree with you about white people, like most white girls, well not most, but I'd say like 65% of white girls own hair extensions. So it's not the same as weave, but I mean it's pretty much the same effect, except I guess you can take it out at the end of the day kind of thing. So yeah, it's yeah, but like most like girly white girls who I've never owned them, but most like girly girls who go out with loads of makeup blah blah have at least one pair of hair extensions. That makes them look really different. Like it extends their hair like this much. So same thing.
I mean, we can't really.
I'm
I mean, like as males, the whole relation to the topic of wearing weave is kind of out there for us. We can only really see pretty much what your girlfriend or your sister or maybe a female friend.
Can I ask you a question?
Does. Go on.
What is your opinion on girls with weave? Would you prefer a girl to have weave, or have you ever said that you prefer when a girl has like a certain type of hair? Because it is usually you lot that make girls wear weave.
To be honest, I mean, wow, that's a very bold statement to make. That's a very bold statement to make. But to be honest, hair is hair to me. It doesn't matter whether it's weave or natural hair. I don't really mind either way. I mean, it's just hair. It doesn't make ounce of difference to me. I know most guys say, "Oh, I don't want to go wearing weave because it's fake," and I mean, it doesn't bother me at all, not one bit. I mean, if you want to put weave in your hair, then that's entirely down to you. But what reason are you putting weave in your hair? Are you putting weave in your hair because you want to look like what society says is beautiful and what society says is nice, or are you doing it for your own reason? Maybe because I know a lot of girls don't like cutting their hair to do a short hairstyle, so they'll put the weave in and do the short hairstyle with the weave, so you can have a short hairstyle for once. I mean, that's one way of looking at it. Or if you want to dye your hair but you don't want to actually dye your natural hair because it may mean having to bleach it to get it out and stuff, so you can put the weave in and dye the bleach. So I mean, yeah, the whole variety thing, changing your hairstyle and stuff, I mean, that's fine with me. Either way, it doesn't make any difference whether a girl has weave or has her natural hair or not.
I used to love, and I mean, still do. I think men are kind of wired to like long hair, not necessarily straight, but long hair. Apparently, I've read a couple of articles that apparently say that long hair is supposed to be something we're wired to associate with good health. Now, if that's the case, then what you've got is a lot of women out here that are faking. Now, if you look, this is a really like personal subject for me, because you look at evolutionary biology, what men and women are drawn to, why we're drawn to, the things we're drawn to in the opposite sex, and there are clear benefits for the things that attract us to the opposite sex. You know, the whole thing with the hip to waist ratio, long hair, clear skin, you know, and a multitude of other things. Even lipstick apparently is supposed to be a holdover from when primates, certain parts of their body would be filled with blood when they were able to have children, and that would be the signal that the males would actually they wouldn't be interested in women until that point. So basically, where I'm going with this is it seems to me, when I really step back and look at it, it seems to me that a lot of the things that we use the word beauty for, actually you could also say that they are signs of being able to have children, signs of something that attracts a male. Now, if it's male, if women see males are more attracted to long hair, it would make sense that if you want to be desirable to a male, you will find a way to get long hair. Which is where I kind of hear where women are saying, you know what, this is why we do it. It's because we see your response. We see the way that you respond to me when I do have it, and I see the way that the very same man responds to me when I don't have it, do have it, whatever. So it kind of changes and influences how they want to look. Here's the problem. One of the problems is that actually it's they're faking a natural sign. From the male's point of view, it's faking a natural sign, because I mean, in Africa they still had long hair. It's just it was braided. A lot of that stuff during slavery, the way they used to braid it, the different sticks they used to put in the hair, to all of that stuff, we've lost it. So on the black side of things, we've had to rediscover or try to find ways of existing, because a lot of the things that were built up over a long period of time within our cultures was just washed out. I personally prefer a woman with natural hair. I don't know if anyone's seen the documentary Good Hair. Yeah, you seen it? You should check it out. It's really interesting. Really funny as well. Chris Rock. Brilliant. The reason why is because one of the things I realized is that changing your appearance because you're bored, I can get down with that. I've done it. Yeah? Changing your appearance because you're not comfortable being seen without any of your add-ons or your whatever you want to call it. I've got a problem with that. Because it means that you're not happy in your own skin. That is not, to me, an attractive trait to have in someone. It means that their self-esteem is tied into how attractive you find them. Big problem with that, really big problem with that. As a fella, and most fellas are like this as well, we don't hinge our self-esteem on how attractive we are to other people. Some of them, it's changing now. It's changing now, but if you went back 50 years, 70 years, but I'm telling you, back then, men had one way of dressing. You had a hat, trousers, a shirt, and a coat, and a tie. And even now, women have a wider range of clothes that they can wear, and men's clothes. Men's clothes, typically, are pretty much the same, and haven't changed that much. We don't have that. Our dress sense, the ways that we present ourselves, aren't really tied to the whole attractive thing the way it is with a lot of women, which is changing. It is changing. I don't know whether that's for good or bad, because I see some guys out there with like boxer shorts out. I'm like, what the hell is that? All of that. It is changing. But I mean, and the other thing that's interesting as well is when they make these changes, do women find that attractive? Right. So this is the thing. Men and women are attracted to different things. But what seems really interesting is that men are now trying to adopt the same method as a lot of women, in terms of, instead of seeking to approach, because men who approach, I don't see too many men just approaching women the way they used to back when I was younger. Now what they are trying to adopt is they are trying to adopt the way many women initiate conversation, in terms of trying to find a way to look attractive. And a lot of the time, from what the women tell me, women aren't usually attracted to that. Sorry.
But like, if that's changing, I think that's just like natural, because in our world, there's like, even though it's still quite a big problem, there's like less sexism and like we're more equal. And so before, it was like more split roles. So like the girl looks good and the guy does it. Whereas now, if it's becoming like more equal, then that will change. Like I don't know, meetings of whatever you want to call it, how guys and girls meet will change as well, just because of that. So I think that's why.
Okay, so that's cool. One of the things I hear a lot of the time is changing slowly, but most women I know of still won't approach a guy that they find attractive. And most men I know now, they don't want to approach either, because actually a lot of them have told me that whereas there used to be a bit of well, how can I describe it? It was a social norm whereby, a dude would approach, a woman would look a specific way that he would like, and he would go and approach. That's changing. But although men now are not approaching, most women aren't approaching. And this is a problem, because now what you've got is men trying to find a way of initiating that first interaction. And the women's way, as you've already said, isn't gonna work, because you ain't interested in seeing what color my boxer shorts are. Yeah, most people ain't. So, but men are. The initial thing that makes a man go over to a woman is attraction. So if, going back to the whole hair thing, I personally would prefer a woman who is natural, because I know that she's comfortable in her own skin. The woman who requires something else to feel as though she is attractive, who feels as though her self-esteem is higher because she now has something to add to herself, not interested. The woman who wants to just change it up a little bit, no problem. But, and this one's going to sound crude as well, but I know you guys know what I'm talking about, yeah? If she isn't confident in how she looks, and if she doesn't look attractive to me without all of the add-ons, then you got the other side of it. That's false advertising. because yeah, I can carry on. I can go there with this. Yeah, I can go there. Can I go all the way in? Okay, all right. So imagine I rent a Ferrari. I rent a very expensive suit, and I present myself as someone who is earning a lot more money than I am, living in my own place, whatever. Let's say Stitch is a millionaire, but Stitch says, Garv, you can have my place for the weekend. Now, if I meet a woman who is attracted to a man of high social status, and I present myself as that man, take her back to Stitch's place, what happens, and in the morning I say, you know
Just
what?
change the sheets when you're finished, right?
No problem, ma'am. And I say, you know what? The Ferrari's not mine. This suit, it's rented from Moss Bros. This place, we got to make sure we get out here by 10 o'clock, but we had a wonderful night. Does that woman have the right to be unhappy with my deception? That's my question. Wait.
It depends if you told her it was your house. Because, to be fair, if she never asked and you never lied to her, well, you didn't lie. I mean, it's a bit of a weird thing to do, but obviously I'd be like, what's your problem? Why did you do that? But at the end of the day, I couldn't say, oh, you shouldn't have done that, because you never lied to me and it's your choice. So I don't know, like, I don't think I'd have the right to be angry with you. I just think it was a bit of a strange thing. I don't know.
Well, not really. If my objective is to try to, because there are two types of lies, two types of deception. There's a lie, and there's a lie by omission. A lie by omission is where I leave certain things out. So, yes, it's true. I have the run of the place, but I kind of leave out that it's not mine. You know, yes, the car is mine, but only for tonight. It's my suit. I paid for it at Moss Bros, but I've got to take it back in the morning. So, you know, the same thing can be said of women's hair. Because the thing is, how many women, if I comment them on how great they look with their hair, how many of them saying, yeah, I bought it last week?
To be honest, on that same subject, on that same question you just said, about 10 years ago, a lot of women would have been like, oh yeah, it looks good, don't it? I wouldn't say anything. Now, a lot of women are actually, they wear weave and they're proud to say that it's weave. So a lot of women will be, if you said to them, oh, your hair looks great. Oh yeah, I bought it down from Bixton Market, or I bought it from Peckham, or bought it from wherever. I mean, a lot of women now, they are proud to say, yeah, it is weave. But then, I mean, a lot of people do have the comment of saying, well, it's my hair because I bought it. You know, here's the receipt. I mean, that used to be when it started to change over from women not saying that it was weave to now where people say, in that little transition period, you had a lot of jokes going where people would say, oh, is that your natural hair? Yeah, I paid for it. Or is that your hair? Oh, I paid for it. Here's the receipt. Here's this, that. So you had that little transition period where some women were making jokes about it being their hair because they paid for it. And then obviously as the transition continued, now women are like, yes, it's weave. It's weave.
But that's why we're boasty about it. Weave is expensive. That's why we have to be boasty about it. It's ours because we paid for it.
When I was younger, I didn't know weave existed. I think
no, I didn't know what weave was. I mean, weave now as you get older, you kind of look back on history and be like, people have been talking about weave since like the 70s and the 80s and the 90s. And back when I was young, and like you see hair is hair. It looks like it grew from your head, so it's your hair. So yeah.
Like I think, alright, because my natural hair when I was younger, before I ruined my hair. Like, I used to dye it every month, so kind of it all broke off and fell out. So I used to have kind of long hair anyway, because I've got like Coolie family, Dominican family, so they've got like Indian hair, and it's just, yeah. So I kind of had that when I was younger, and I thought that, I think it was Alicia Dixon, because that's like my mum's friend's half-sister or some stupidness like that. I thought all of her hair was her hair, and it was down to like here, and I was like, why can't my hair be that long? And then I think I tried to, I don't remember what I did, but I tried to do something to like stretch it out, and I cut it and tried to like tie it to the end, and my mum cast me out. But I was young, but I didn't know what it was, so I always thought that these people with long hair just had like really long hair, like all these people on TV and stuff. I was like, how comes everyone in America's got longer hair than me and all that crap? But it never got to a point where I felt like I needed it too. Well, when I was a baby, yeah, because I was trying to copy people on TV, but that's just because trying to copy people on TV as a kid, but never to the extent where I would like ruin myself or do everything to change myself to be like them. That's just a point. Is that I just never used to know it existed. I never used to know it was worn so much. And this is another thing. When I was in school, yeah, people never used to start getting weave until I was like 16, 17. Now I'm seeing like 13-year-olds with a whole piece of it. My sister's 12, yeah. She's got fairly long hair. So, like, she can straighten it and it'll be her hair and it'll be of, like, decent length. And then you're seeing girls in her year. She's in year 7. I'm seeing girls with more weave on their head than I've ever had in my life. I got weaved. I got, like, a couple of clippings when I was 16 and I had my first weave when I was 19. Why are you 13 with a head of weave? Like, that's expensive for one. And 2, you're too young to be doing that to your head. But, yeah.
With your thing, like, I understand everything you said, and, like, I think all of us everyone wants to look their best, obviously, so I understand when we go out, we'll wear makeup, some people will change their hair, blah, blah, blah. But with you saying, like, the example you gave of the house, the girl didn't know that it wasn't yours, basically. She didn't know you had any add-ons. Whereas, like, I'm assuming, obviously I don't know, that you can probably normally tell when a girl's wearing weave.
You can't tell. For male we can't tell because we don't really.
Oh, okay. Well, that is.
Let me when I was younger, I grew up for my my first couple of years, because my mum had her hair straightened, I grew up thinking that black women's hair and black men's hair grew differently. Because my mum had straightened her hair. The thing is, no. In terms of our hair grows curly.
Oh, you mean differently from a black guy?
Yeah. So it took me till
To
I
be
was
honest, I still actually believe that.
So I mean, there is the whole issue of the children as well. If the children or our young daughters are growing up seeing their mothers and their aunties, etc., 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 with this hair growing so differently to theirs, and those are their role models, what kind of pressure does it put on them in terms of conforming or seeing that as the way that they should have their hair in order to have their self-esteem? And makeup, clothing is another one as well. You know, we're coming. But that's an important one for me as well. I mean, it affected when I was younger. My mum, don't get me wrong, my mum wasn't big on the weave and all that stuff, but she did straighten her hair, because that was one of the things that they did back in my mum's time. And I just thought that's how her hair grew.
Yeah, I mean, until I actually got my hair straightened once, and it changed completely. I mean, my hair is very, very thick and very, very curly, and my hairdresser decided one day, oh, so I'm just going to straighten your hair, and she straightened it, and it completely changed. I looked like Snoop Dogg. It was so weird. And this is going from someone who my natural hair is very, very thick, very curly, very afro-like, to go from that to looking like Snoop Dogg in a mere matter of hours. So yeah, until that point, I actually did think that women's hair grew differently.
Just like that, yeah.
Just grew different to men's.
And the thing is, it is, you got the whole thing where it's a lie, but then the whole deception by omission thing is the fact that, you know, for a lot of young, especially children, if no one tells them, they don't know. They don't know, and as far as they're concerned, no one is messing around with their hair, and no one messes around with anyone's hair until someone tells them. So actually, they're going to believe that actually that is the way hair grows. Yeah.
In fact, it's quite naive that I know children think that way, but I think it's up to the parents to teach their child, because no black person who's from Africa has straight hair. Black people do not have straight hair, so I don't know why black men think that black women's hair grow differently. If your hair's growing curly, that's the same way a black woman's hair grows. Black people do not have straight hair. Some might have finer textured hair, but it's always it's different kind of curls, and that's wrong for parents to kind of lie to their children and make it seem like, oh no, my hair naturally grows like this. So when your child's getting upset that why is my hair not like my mum's, or why is a girl different from a boy, like, I think it's up to the parents to educate them that the naturalness of black people, because if you're not educated, you're not going to know that. And I think that it should be emphasized more, especially in schools, in that, because I think that's a really big problem. A lot of people don't know that black people's hair does not grow straight. So that's a big issue there.
You said something about no one's doing nothing to the kids' hair until, like, they don't know no difference until. What about them little kids who've got about a whole head full of like pick and drop? Yeah, that. Yeah, and some people do that to their kids from when they're baby, and I see a whole heap of weave like extensions in their head from when they're baby. And the thing is, that's not. You said that kids don't know no difference, but the thing is, they kids aren't stupid, you know. Kids can tell. Like, I think my little cousins, there's like a year between them, yeah, and one of them's got thicker hair, and one of them's got like they're court white, so one of them's got that typical mixed race girl hair where it's like silky curls kind of thing, and one of them's got puffier hair. And like I said, they've got like 10 months between the two of them, but they can tell the difference, and they can still tell like the difference between all the hairs. Like, I've got a very mixed family, like every shade of brown in the world, so like they can tell the difference. They're not stupid. I don't know if it's a boys thing, but I think little girls especially can tell the difference between hairs. They might not understand how it gets straight, but they know it's not straight. Do you know what I mean? And like, there is only certain ways that a black person's hair can be. It's either 3 ABC or 4 ABC. maybe pushing it at 2C if you got some sort of something in you. But
I have no idea what any
those
of
are
that
the
means,
types of
by the
curls.
way.
Sorry, those are the types of curls you can. It's the curl patterns you can have. Is either a 3A, B, C, or 4A, B, and C. The tightest one is a 4C,
That just doesn't
and
make
that's
any
the straightest
sense
one is
to
a
me.
1 that is just straight. Yeah.
See,
So-
this is the thing with guys and girls. Guys, either your hair's straight or your hair's curly. It's
No, but that's
A,
the
B,
thing.
C.
There is not. It's not though, because there's. You can say, oh, I like a girl with curly hair. What type of curly hair? Because you can have ringlet curls, you can have wavy curls, you can have curls, you can have tight curls, you have kinks, you can have whatever. And the thing is, you don't need to know which one is which, but you can still see the difference. You can still see
Yeah,
the difference. The difference between a mixed race girl's curly hair and an afro is obvious. Like, you can still see the difference. And I don't know if because little boys don't care as much, but little girls can see it. I think little girls can see it at least. But yeah.
Right, we'll take one more, then we'll wrap up this topic.
Like the stuff, sorry to keep going back to this, but the thing that you were saying about like natural girls, like it just annoys me a bit about boys in general, because most of them will say what you said, and I perfectly understand why, and I'd say the same about a guy. I mean, I wouldn't want you to wear, I don't know, loads of expensive jewelry or whatever to make me think you look a different way when you're not, and I completely understand why people think that. But when you lot are in the club, can you please try and tell me that you would approach that girl who's standing there with her natural hair, with no makeup, without a push-up bra, blah, blah, blah. Can you please try and tell me that those are the ones that all you lot who say you're natural girls approach every time? Because I know it's not.
Right. So. So.
We'll take the last one, then we wrap up this topic.
Right. So. All right. So this is going to come in two parts then.
Go ahead.
To address what you said. When a guy goes in the club and he looks around, he's looking for the woman that he finds most attractive. Yeah? If you've got one woman who is using some form of add-on, whether that's makeup, fake hair, whatever it is, and she looks more attractive than the rest, then that will be the woman that gets approached. But what would happen one day if every woman chose to appear exactly how they are? That's my question. That's one. Because the thing is, no, it does, because the thing is, we will always approach the woman that looks most attractive to us. To me personally, yes. Yeah. To me personally, now back in the day, when I thought about it differently, and I didn't know too much about all of the weave on and all that stuff, then yeah, that would be right. But now I've had a look at what women do to themselves in order to look attractive, how it affects the children when they try to emulate it. It's a big turn-off, and how negatively it can, and how reliant some women are with regards to self-esteem on it. It's a turn-off.
So you really do approach the most natural-looking girl?
Yeah, ideally, if she's bald, that is a plus, because that woman there has got bulletproof self-esteem, in my opinion.
I just know.
That's my opinion.
I just know that, like, I don't really wear much makeup, and my hair is not sexy. Like, I know that. And like when I go out, I don't know. I can't walk in heels, so I don't really wear them. And basically, I just think I look like quite natural, but I'm never gonna be like the most attractive girl in the club. And I know that like not that many guys like approach me, and like, I see them all approaching the girls who maybe have fake nails, fake hair, fake this, which is nothing wrong with it if you have that. But I'm saying that the majority of guys seem to approach the girls that look more attractive than me, or maybe my friends who are like that.
Yeah, but what does that attractiveness? What does it hinge on? It hinges upon all of the things that they've done to add on to onto who they are, i.e., the weave, the makeup, the this, the that, the other, all of the things that you're not doing. Now, here's the thing: the reason why I prefer a woman who doesn't rely on a lot of that stuff is because, crude as it sounds, I know what I'm getting. Okay. I know what she looks like naturally. My last point that I was gonna, because we need to wrap up. Okay, just food for thought. 9-10 years ago, they had a big thing, and I think it's still going on in it was either Japan or China, where what the women were doing was they were undergoing an operation to perform surgery on their eyes to give them rounder eyes, in order to look more attractive and be more acceptable at work. You know, now the whole rounding of the eyes thing, that's something that they do, that they pay for. They paid for it, it's theirs. But food for thought, because I know we've got to move on, but it's something else that they're doing in order to gain acceptance in a place they believe won't accept them for who they are. Personally, I think that's wrong. I do not want to have to change who I am in order to be accepted. I prefer to be just alone, rolling solo. You know, that's just the way I see it. But yeah.
All right, so we're going to stop there, have a little break, and then we'll move on with our last two topics in the second half of the show. So we'll break for about 15 minutes, and then we'll come back and get going again.
Cool.